Hey everybody. What we're doing today is we're working on a Toyota seat. I'm going to show you some different things about it, and I'm going to show you what you can get, what you can't get, what you can do, and what you might not can do. So, and I'm going to show you some things that we're going to be doing. It's an old seat. The guy just wanted it kind of fixed, you know. He didn't want to put a fortune into it. So we're going to explain some things that we're doing to it. And show you. So anyway, this material right here, I'm going to show you this. If you look at it, hey Jane and Jane, you're our best viewer. If you look at it, it's got that stripe, and it's a slanted stripe. This right here is not original. So somebody used this. That's not original, but this right here, this is a Nissan that come out of a Nissan. This right here, I don't know what it came out of. This right here, this is original. Like that. That's the way it goes. Okay, so this is the original. This come out of something somewhere down the line. Somebody replaced that. This right here is what we put in it. This. So this is Nissan. This is Toyota. This is who knows. I don't know what that is. And I didn't research it enough to look for it because we're going to change it anyway. Okay. All right. We went on and cut the foam. It's about 36 inches. I did glue this piece right here together because this material is like really wide. I don't think it's going to take all that material. You can see that's a wide piece. So anyway, what I'm going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to fold it back. I'm going to glue it. I'm going to.
You have to come over here where I can see around you.
Yeah, Wes is going to camera operate a little bit for me. I think our hose is around the.
Pull it.
I think our hose is caught up, but okay. We put this tape on here just so whenever we fold it back, like this, you can use a plastic bag or you can use about anything you want to. We put that on there so whenever we spray it, it don't get any overspray right in here on the material. And you can use about any kind you want. I'm just gonna blow anything that might be on there off. This is a Wellwood contact adhesive. You don't have to spray it like you do in a headliner. A lot of people don't even use it. They use that 3M spray adhesive or some kind of foam adhesive in a spray bomb. But if you cut it with scissors, sometimes it gums up your scissors, and then you got to stop and clean them. So what we do is we'll use something like this Wellwood glue, and we've been using it a long time. So it pulled my tape off. I can stick it right back on. That big old clamp right there has doggone pinched my leg so many times. We just put this, like I said, we just put this tape on there to keep it from any overspray. And I don't think any overspray is gonna get in it because I'm spraying it from this side. So I guess we don't even have to have it on that side. Unless I turn it around, I ain't gonna do that. This is for the bottom and the backrest. So I'm just gluing both of them at the same time. If you buy the original material, you can get it from a company like SMS that has new old stock, or I heard they can weave anything, but it might take several months to get it, the original. But the truck ain't that nice. But he wants it to be really neat, but it don't have to be original for him. We put this thin plastic right here to try to protect my plastic that's up under the on the table like this. We don't want to have to change it every week or so. That's what we got to. And this that's on here, this plastic was actually shower curtain. I bought several 100 yards of it, and over the years I have about done used it all up, because it takes a pretty good bit, don't it, Wesley,
You have to do the whole table.
to do the whole table. It takes a pretty good bit. It don't have no grain to it. What I'm looking for is if it changes colors one way or the other, and this right here don't. So it's sort of like what was on it. Here we go right here. The way they done this is a little bit different than the way I'm going to do it. The way they done it was they left all this one piece. They sewed a line here, they sewed a line here, couple of here. It wasn't real uniform. Like you can tell right there, it wasn't really, it just wasn't that great. So we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to have the cushion, and I'm going to measure these pieces. The cushion on here it looks like it's been through World War III. Anyway, I'm just gonna cut me some strips. I'm gonna say that right there is about 6. piece right here, 13. Nope. 12 and a half. 6, 12 and a half. And 12. 6, 12 and a half, and 12. Here it is. If you're looking for something, always look in front of you. That's where it's at. All right, so we're gonna come right here. We get a good piece of chalk. Okay, you just trim me off a piece of chalk. Get your point. This right here on the edge looks like where they run it at the mill, so I'm gonna cut that off. All right, it says 6 and a half. Twelve and a half. Let me make that 13. I might sew some seams in there. 13. And 12. All right, so that gives me enough room right here on this piece. To sew this, I know it's a little bit long, but it's going to have a half inch here and a half inch here, a half inch here and a half inch here. I sew some seams in here. And then when I trim it to fit. Let me make sure I got enough and not overstep. All right, 31 3/4. 31 and a half. So let's make that piece 5 and a half. We're gonna move over and give ourselves a little bit more. I might have just went a little bit too big with it. I said it was 13.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to get confused with a bunch of marks, so we'll go ahead and cut these. Eleven and a half. I'm just going to shorten it down to make sure I can get it all out of this material. All right, so here we go. All right, we want to start in the middle. I'm gonna come right here, mark it in the middle. You always start in the center, work your way out. In most cases. All right, so I'm gonna come right here. I'm gonna make this I'm gonna put me a 1-inch pleat and split it in the middle right here. 1, 2. I'll do the back rest the same way. Okay, so we got us a line in the middle. It's just an inch apart. We'll come right here. We know that we got to have a 1/2 inch right here that's gonna be took up. I may have to cut a little off of it. I might have over measured it just a little bit, so I might have to trim it just a little bit. So we want this right here, in between here, the edge and here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it 2 inches. 2 inches. Come right here, put it an inch. That's gonna give me far enough away from the seam on the edge. 2. And we'll do the back rest the same way. We couldn't determine how far the lines were originally on the seat because they were gone. They were just maybe used up. How many he had on there? They looked like they were closer than a inch apart though. But we're going to try to match them. Not too much, not match them too much. Look at this shit all over my fingers. You can see right here, they had one on this side, on this. This piece had one on there, and it looks like that's about 5/8 maybe. Here's one that's an inch apart, and there's one right there. This right here was to hold this piece. That's your anchor that goes down in the seat to hold it. They went all the way out to the front with it. Wasn't real uniform with the lines, but we're gonna try to make this one uniform. He said he's probably gonna fix the truck up a little bit. So may bring the other seat over here if this one looks real good. I don't know exactly why he put one on this. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know why. It didn't need it.
Yeah, don't need it to me.
But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sew this piece up. I'm gonna sew put this in here. I'm gonna put the anchor in here. You can look right here. The original cover had an anchor going across the front. So I'm gonna measure from back here to up here and go over it just a little bit, you know, because my 1/2 inch is gonna draw it back. So like this. I can measure it with a ruler, or I can just fold it up like this. Come right here. And when I sew it, it's gonna, when I sew it right here, it's going to it'll take it, the 1/2 inch will come back, make it pull back to the center of that line where I want it. Check that. 15. All right, let's go to the sewing machine. What we do is we sew these right here first, then we take and sew that one. We got some, God, you hear that? That looks like that's close right there. Let's see. It's time to wind some bobbins here. I'll try to do this quick as I can. There's some right there that's already wound. But being as I only got one spool, I've got to wind me some bobbins and take that off. All right, I got me 1, 2, 3.5 bobbins wound, so I'm gonna take these right here. Normally, I just cut that string and pull them through, keep from having to pull this through so much. I think my LED light is about to get dimmer. Maybe. always put you a drop, maybe of oil on your bobbin case. You don't want to wear it out. You don't have to do it every time, but it's good to keep some oil on it so you don't wear it out. Another thing is that little piece of cotton felt that goes through there. It don't hurt to put a little bit of oil on that. It don't saturate it. I mean, but just put a little bit on it. And I don't want to. What don't you want?
What'd your friend tell you about the oil?
It ain't yeah. A friend of mine, I brought him some stuff over there that was wore out on a doggone backhoe, and he said, "You know, it ain't illegal to use oil." It wasn't my backhoe, but it is now. I bought it. Okay. All right. So all I'm gonna do is just put these. I'll blow them lines right there off. Some of them chalk marks. I don't know for sure. I'm not going to sew the edge. I was thinking about it, but I don't know if I'm going to have to cut some of that edge off once I put the final measurement on there. If you think you might learn something, or I want to ask a question, just ask. I'll try to answer. Weston can read it fast enough. we might can answer you as we go. All right. So we got that sewed up. The pleats look good. You know, I've watched a lot of other people's videos and stuff, and they talk about this pink foam. This pink foam right here is expensive. This is a high quality pad right here. You can pull the scrim off the back of it, but it is a high quality pad. They make some a whole lot cheaper than this right here, and believe me, it don't hold up like this does. So what I'm gonna do is kind of test fit it to the seat, just to see if that's far enough, and it looks like it is. It looks like that's gonna be just right. When I sew this across there, it's gonna pull it in some. I may have to trim it just to get the shape of the seat. All right, I got this, and we'll put it together. Okay, that's the front part right here. Take and fold it over. This, there ain't a whole lot on that roll, but it's called listing. This is what anchors your seat down. So we're gonna come right in here, put a piece about that long on there. We're gonna come right here on the back side. Go to right about here. So I'll cut it. All right. So this piece I can go ahead and sew on now. There it is, sewed in place. That pulls over, that anchors the seat down in the front. It's gonna make it have a little bit of an indentation right in here to go down in that groove that's so wide. All right, so this right here is this side. I think I'll go down these sides, make them. Come on. You may have to hold it tight to do this on the edge, or it could slip off. So all I did was just close that seam right there. You don't have to do it. A lot of the original seats are done that way, and I've been doing it so long, I just do it. It don't take me but a minute to do it. This goes on here like this. I never did cut that off. I just left it a little long. The reason I cut that edge off is because you can tell where a machine run down through here with like spikes and pulled this through the machine. That's why I'm cutting that off. I'm gonna show you something on this right here, in case you didn't know. When you start off with a sewing machine like this, when you start off with a sewing machine like this, you see, can they see where that is?
No.
You see this right here? You see this? You can just lean it over here with you. They might can see it that way.
I don't know if I can.
This little hook right here.
I can't see if I'm in it or not.
You see this? This right here.
I can't see it to see if I'm seeing.
Huh? Yeah, right here. You see this right there? That needs to be all the way up to the top. If you're starting off, I'm gonna show you what it does. If I start off with this not being up, see, I don't even have to hold the thread. I can just start off like this right here. Check this out. I can just start off. I don't even have to hold it. But if I start off and it's down here, right here, and I cut it close, when this comes up, it's gonna pull it out of my needle. And that's what happened just a minute ago. I mean, sometimes I just get kind of carried away and go fast, and I try to leave it a little long to where it won't do it, but sometimes it will. Most of the time I hold that. I reach over there and just hold it like that. but I didn't. So there you go. These right here are the listing pieces. They go right here on the edge of this seat. This right here is the anchors that hold it down into the seat. So I'm gonna come right here. Okay. That piece is sewed on. That'll cut, when I fold it around, it's gonna anchor just like this. What we normally do is put a piece of wire in here. We got any wire, Wesley? Okay. It did have some wire in it, so we're gonna use his wire. Normally we'll take and make our own wire, but in this case, we did. So we're gonna take this. So I'm gonna put this right here down, just like this. Line it up. You know, I know a lot of people put a lot of marks on there and line it up. If you need them marks on there, just mark you some marks on there like that, and like hold it as you go. A lot of people do that. Even people that's been doing interior work for years and years will take it and put them a bunch of marks on there to keep up with it. I don't find nothing wrong with that. That's what you want to do. Shit. Where's my piece at, Wesley?
Right here.
Right here? Here it is. It's always in front of you. You'll be looking for it. It'll be right in front of you. Okay, there's our seat cover, basically. So I'm gonna go over there to the seat, probably cut a little piece of it off with a knife, put a piece on there, shape it, because the foam in it's dead. I'll show you. If somebody been sitting on you since 1992, this right here, I know the way you measure foam is like this, but it's dead right here. Right in here, it's like it don't have no value to it. I have took and cut these apart, cut them open, and the foam inside of it would be kind of crumbly inside. You couldn't see it from the outside, but it just didn't have no value to it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take and cut this little section right here. I'm not gonna take the whole thing off because it don't feel that bad up here. Just right in here, where it's been punished all these years. A lot of people talk bad about this knife right here. I've had 150 of them. I've had more than that. And they don't last forever. They don't. But they work good. If you get the ones with the blades that are real sharp like this, that's real pointy. If you get the ones that's just like that, they don't cut good. You need a certain kind that's got of aggressive cut like this. They cut real good. This one right here, pretty good knife. I've used all kinds. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just come right here. I'm gonna stick a hole to it. All right, like I said, I wasn't gonna go all the way. I ain't. I'm just going up to that part. Come right in here. You think I'm shitting? There is so much dirt. You plant a damn garden in the street. That's one reason why when you repair these seat covers, I got a washing machine out there. A lot of times, whenever we do these seat covers like this on the older seat, we'll take that old seat cover, we'll throw that thing in the washing machine, throw some Purple Power, 2 or 3 different kind of detergents in there. We'll wash it. The reason is this dirt. All right, I'm just going to cut the dead section out like this right here. This dirt gets in your sewing machine and the hook of your sewing machine. Believe me. You'll be wondering, why is my sewing machine skipping? Doggone, what's happening? It'll start skipping. It'll start breaking threads. Start doing all kind of crazy things until you take it and clean all that dirt out. All right, this piece right here, real dead. This right here, I can even push it in and it'll stay. Let's see if it's got anything in there with it. It's just real soft. Punishment over the years. All right, so I'm gonna come back here to the bandsaw. I'm gonna cut a little shape like this right here. Give me that big piece there, Wes. Just I'm just gonna trace a piece out. Go back there to the bandsaw, cut a piece out just like this right here. Come back, shape it with that bread cutter. Some of y'all call it. All right, I'm gonna come right here. I think I'm gonna make that a little wider, Wesley. It just looked like it was a little bit narrow on that seat frame. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna walk back there, take the bandsaw, it'll cut it right out really quick. I could cut it out with the turkey carver, but that's all it is to it. We'll take this piece and we'll put it back in the seat. I might need to take and carve it down there with like this. Check this out. Come right here. Here's my line right here. You can always make it a little big, like a little tall. Sometimes it's a little bit harder to add it to it. But I'm gonna take and cut that right there off with the bandsaw. Make it a little bit big. I can always trim it down. We do go through a bunch of foam out here. You know, we want a hard, firm piece back in there. That's pretty firm. We want something to match it. I spray it over that foam so it don't matter if I get some on there. I'm gonna spray it in there. Did we ever empty that can out down there with?
It's got that old that we didn't like using. Ain't much left.
Yeah. How much you think's in there?
Maybe a couple of cups.
Oh, no. Maybe we can thin it.
But
And
it
we
was
got
that.
some xylene in
It was
there.
that old that didn't.
Yeah. It didn't stick good, did it?
No.
Sometimes when you get glue, like we use a bunch of glue, it seems like. They sell the old glue first. So you'll be buying some old glue. If it's bright yellow, it's newer. If it's darker, then it's got the date on it. Oh no, this is 8/3 of 24. This one down here, which I ain't long bought, this says 10/19 of 23. So it was an older glue, and there are a couple cups in there that we ain't even gonna be able to use. Get a blower. You can speed up the process. It don't have to be hot air. I wouldn't say cold air. Me and Wesley have been trying to figure out today what all that alphabet stuff they're talking about is. LGBTQ. And what was it, Wesley? Liquor.
Liquor, beer, guns, and Trump.
No. Liquor, beer, guns, a quickie.
Something like that.
LGBTQ.
There was several different.
It was funny. Okay, so we got a good firm piece in there. That's a whole lot firmer than what it had. We're just gonna take and smooth it down. I'm gonna put a piece of pink on top of it. Always take a little bit off. You don't have to take a whole bunch off. Pull that out. There's a wire right here. You see it down in, that's your anchor that you're gonna anchor the you hold down for your cover. Make sure your paper's good. If you hit metal with it one time, it won't be. It just dulls the paper real bad. We're gonna smooth that up. I'm gonna take a little bit of that out that's kind of wore down right in here. Can you see that, Wes? We're gonna take a little bit of that down. It don't matter if I go down just a little bit because I'm gonna put a piece on top of it. Look at the dirt. There we go. Get that dirt back out of there. I'm just gonna come back here.
Pink's back there.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut me a piece off of this back here. It's kind of firm.
I've got some of that gray stuff. If you want to cut off of it, that's already thin.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
You do?
Yeah.
What about, didn't we have some white up here that's kind of firm? Where's that piece at? Here it is. This is a real firm piece right here. We're gonna put it on top, right there. And we'll smooth it on up. All right. There we go. We want this piece glued on there really nicely. We'll speed it up. Yeah, we don't have to speed it up no other way, do we, Wesley? Here we go. Come right in here. All right. Just take the old trusty bread cutter. You just take that and you put it up here just like this, and you just cut around it just like this. All right. So we've got that side built up. It ain't down like it was, so whenever the cover's on there, it's gonna fit right. And we're gonna come in here. I'm gonna smooth this right here out, just like that. I'm gonna come right in here. You see how wide that gap is on this side? I'm gonna take the grinder, smooth all that out. Pretty much make it look like it did when it was new. Wesley's my cameraman, he would be holding that. Grinding this foam, always make sure that blade's turning down, like going down. If I turned it around and went like this where it's going up, it's going to peel that off. All right, now that piece is back up. That's what it looked like before, right here. It's back up, it's firm. That's what you're looking for. All right, I'm back. Anyway, that's smooth. That's where it's supposed to be. That's what was up there. We cut that section right there out. This was really dead. If you got one that's like that, you're probably gonna have to cut it out, or either you're gonna be sitting on the frame. It seems like we have to do that on a lot of things around here. All right, here's the cover. There's my lineup right here. Here's my piece right here. That's gonna go down in here. That's gonna go down in here, just like that. The cover's gonna sit down. So now what I gotta do is, I gotta come right in here. Well, remember, you can always trim a little bit off if you have to. Okay. Come right in here, trim a little extra off. My marker, Wesley, you seen it?
It's up under some of that.
There it is. Got it. You can come right in here under this seat, like this, under the seat. All right.
I was going down, you went up.
All right.
And I had
Come
to
up
chase
under the seat, like that's right here, and you can mark it out. Like that. But mark it a little big, like that, to where you can come back and trim it when you can see where you're at. All right. So I'm gonna mark that out. I'm gonna cut that out, and then I'm gonna come back and trim it. All right. Here we are. Right there. Line at my center. Right here. Right there. Right there. I can see more about where I'm at. Okay, there we are, right here, right here. We got everything lined up. straight across the back. I think I'm gonna cut a little bit off of that back. We're gonna come right here, and I'm gonna take about an inch off of the back. The cover was just a little long, and I wanted it to where when I sew that strip across there, it goes around up under here. I wanted it to fit just right. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna sew all the way around the edge. It locks in these stitches right here. Make sure they don't come loose when I'm sewing them. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's the reason that I go around it. Can you see that, Wesley? That's the reason that I go around it and sew it and lock that stitch in. I could go back on there and double stitch it back and forth, but and I am gonna do this one, but if you go around it, it locks it in. So like this. Let me do that. Go back and forth on it. So I'm gonna come right here. I ain't worried about this unraveling or nothing, but right here on these seams that I sewed together, if they're not locked in, they can come apart. But whenever you lock them in like this, they're not going nowhere. I didn't go back and forth on them, but I mean, they're not going nowhere whenever you stitch over them. So they're locked in. So that's the top right here. I'm gonna come right here, cut that right there. And that right there is what we're gonna anchor it down to. Sometimes I'll take and spray a little light glue on this right here. It makes the cover where it won't move when you're sliding in and out of the truck. Makes the cover last a lot longer. Put a little glue on it. All right, so I'm gonna come right here. And if you look on the old cover, right here, this part right here, this, and they even sewed it on back. Well, they sewed it on right. It goes down like that. But what it is this and this is the original. This right here come with the truck. They didn't make that right there. They took it off the old seat cover and sewed it back on this one. It probably looked a lot better back then. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blow that chalk over there. It's aggravating. Okay. So I'm gonna come right here. Make sure that's lined up. Just like that. I'm gonna come right here. Just like that. Mark through that. I don't know. That's where the seatbelt goes through, ain't it, Wesley?
Yeah.
Oh, we got any gray?
It's right there in the roll.
Cloth?
You
It ain't got to be the perfect color because it's just gonna go down in there. I could sew this one back on, but it looks pretty bad. Any kind of charcoal about this color. Oh, let me tell you. Damn, that is dull. good. Something like that. Or if there's something back there, just gray. I mean, it can get a little lighter, a little dark. It don't matter. That's fine. Knife gets that doggone dull out here. Quick. You don't want your knife too sharp, because if it gets too sharp, then you're probably gonna cut a hole in something.
For yourself.
Or yourself. We get cut out here all the time on these little sharp seats. Okay. That's all it is. They had a little looks like original welt put in there. See that little waffle on there? They had that to hold it. I probably got a little piece over there. We could do it back kind of like the original. All right, where's that piece at there, Wes?
Behind you on the counter.
Oh. Yeah. Wesley found that for me. Just laying around. Okay, so we got these pieces right here. That's AKA short pieces.
We'll be dizzy here by the time I chase you around the shop.
Yeah. All right, here's some original welt. So we're gonna take this. I don't know what's front or back on this crap. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. This is a cordon foot, so that right there holds that cord in place. Come right here. Just about needs to doggone be steamed and laid down on. All right, so there we are. We got all these pieces done. Give me that cover, Wes. We're taking
We got cut hole first for you.
yeah,
So
I'm gonna cut it. We got to take and cut that hole out that I drawed on there. I'm gonna go inside a little bit right here, because you got to leave enough. You don't want to go outside the hole. You want to come inside just a little bit. Like that. There we go. We'll take this piece. There's where the center is. We're gonna come right around here. Turn it. All that does is fold through and trims out that edge just like that. Just like that. So the seat belt can come through. All right, so I'm gonna come right here. It's got a piece that goes across the back, right here. It goes just like this. I'm gonna fold that edge just a little bit. And there we go. It may not be original, but it's sewed back the way the original was. So this right here will go down through the hole, just like that. It's gonna anchor to the seat, inside the seat. That's gonna anchor. That's why it's got that piece of original welt in there to hold it. This right here goes right in here. And all it does is just trim it out. That's all it does. Trims it out. Just like that. I might sew over that just 1 second. All right. Now, all that's left of this is to put the boxing on it. That's the trim that you're going to put on there before you put it on the seat. So, let's see how fast I can cut this boxing out. And we'll finish up that bottom right there. Where's my pieces?
The 3 pieces are beside the heat gun.
That's all it is. I'm gonna turn it to this side because that's a little dark. I don't know if I might could see my marker. Like I said, somebody's worked on it before. You see the holes they marked on there, and they were in the wrong place. So good thing they didn't cut them out. All right, we'll take this. Didn't we have a piece that went across the back right there, Wes? You know what I'm talking about? Like a piece, like a tail piece that went on the seat. If we don't, I'm gonna make one. Look on the old cover and see what it's doing.
I don't have no more pieces.
Oh, okay. I'll make one.
I'm trying to figure out how these got mixed up because I had them separated.
I don't know.
I'm wondering if that's it, but I'm not sure on that.
Hold on, I'll look at it. Okay, so here we go. We got these pieces right here, drawed out. Maybe it won't take it a second to cut them out. Scissors ain't too sharp. I can't glide along with them.
You mixed them all up. I had them separated from the sharp ones and not, and you used them to make your little thing.
Maybe we need to sharpen them all. Okay. I'm gonna take and cut me a little strip by 3 inches wide, like this. Like that. Come right here, 3 inches. Right like that. Just cut me a strip like that, and I'm gonna set that on the tail of that seat. Cause I know it had one. Right here. Look at the frame there, Wesley. Yeah, right there. That's where it anchors. Okay. So we good.
this may be the piece you're talking about. They didn't make very long, but that was what they anchored it with.
Is that right? Let me look at it. Yeah. I don't know if that's it. Because see, it goes way over. Unless it went around the corner like that. And I don't think it did that. Well, oh well.
Like I say, that's the only piece that's left with that part of the seat I took apart, unless you mixed them up somehow.
I don't think I mixed them.
Because I tried to keep them apart.
All right, here we go. We're going to take and put this piece right here on the end. We don't want that coming loose. I'm going to throw it right here so it don't come loose. Just lock the stitch. That piece is going to be like up under the seat right here. It's going to be like folded down up under the seat, and that's what's going to anchor it. I am going to put a top stitch on it just to try to make it a little stronger. Hold on. If you've ever looked at some thread that was, sometimes one of these strands in that thread right there break and kind of knot up on your thread, you need to get by that. Just put a top stitch on there. Now I'm going to come right here. You think that had a bead on it there, Wes?
That's what I'm trying to.
It did?
Yeah.
Okay.
It went all the way around.
So this is the passenger side over there. This one around the front. This is this side. Look right here. This folded. I remember that. This. Put some relief cuts in here, especially where the curve starts. All you do is just fold that down, maybe a ½ inch. Just like that. Excuse me. Take this, fold this back. I remember when I was cutting it out that it had that little piece right there folded back. Just like that. And this piece was folded over. Just like. Just like that. If you're not familiar with how this folds over and stuff, all you got to do is just put your little mark on it. Measure it, lay it down, fold it over. I see a bunch of people doing that online. Been watching some YouTube videos, see how y'all do it. I always had to look at somebody else's work to try to tell, what was what, and kind of like who did it. So this, we're gonna sew this piece right here on. After I sewed this right here down, I know it went down. Okay, just like this. I'm not 100% sure if that had a top stitch. I don't think that would have had a top stitch on it, but I am gonna double sew it. Okay, and that's all it was just like that. We come over here. This is called the boxing. So you come over here like this, and I'm gonna sew this piece onto this, and that goes around through that little edge over there where the armrest goes. Okay, I'm not gonna top stitch that. I'm just gonna put another stitch right beside it. All. So now this right here is pretty much ready. That long piece Wesley had a while ago. Where's it at, Wesley? Now that might have went right through here, along this edge. That might be where that piece went.
Where you at?
That piece that you had over here, right here.
You talking about that piece?
That piece. Let's look at it. Okay, this piece. See there? That's just the right length. So this is where that piece went. Probably had a piece of wire in it. Hold it. A lot of these seats came with a piece of wire. Alright, you got me a piece like this right here, cut, West? What's that, about 2 inches?
I'll have to measure it, but yeah.
Wes is gonna cut me a piece about 2 inches right along here. And while he's doing that, let's see if we got any original welt.
We don't. I look.
Look.
Yeah, that's why I cut them 2 strips there to make.
Okay. Here we go. I'm just going to take a piece of this, go around it, give me a piece of welt made. Okay. That's all we need. I'll take and sew this welt up. I ain't never had that happen. Never. 40 years. That damn thing went down there and caught in my pulley. Doggone. Let's see if it messed it up. It looks fine. You see that? It went down in there, caught. Doggone.
Hello, Moto.
Put that thing on do not disturb.
It's been getting messages and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna come right here and see if I can. Who was that?
Billy Joe. Queen Rob. He's doing video right now.
Okay. I trimmed that off to a sharp edge to where whenever I sew this up here like this, like this, I can pull it really, really, really tight. Okay. So you can't really see that where I put that together. I mean, it helped it a lot. I can't believe that went down in my well, I guess it's the first thing for everything, ain't it? All right. So I'm gonna come right here. I'm gonna come right here. I'm gonna cut some relief cuts like this. That way, when I go around that, it won't fold back under.
You're out of bother.
Yeah. Oh, God. and use up some of these little bobbins. All right, so here we go. Did you cut? Yeah, you got a 2-inch piece. Wesley got my little 2-inch piece right here. I didn't hold it. I'm telling you, if that ain't up, it will snatch it out of the needle. All right. Here we go. All this does is the anchor. It anchors the cover down. I wish I knew exactly how that right there come off. That's the reason you put them marks on there. Didn't you have me some marks on there before, Wes? I know you put some on there.
Where are you at? Because
Sewing this boxing on right here.
no, the only thing I marked was the box and where they went together. I didn't mark it on the where you're at.
Ah. All right, here we go. Come over here, take your boxing and do it like this. This is all I know to do. Take your boxing like this. And get you a center right here. Take this. There's that. There's that. There's that. There's that. Alright, I'm gonna say that's my center, even though it don't look like it. But the way you check it is, you come right here, and you put your boxing right here. You go around here. And I'm going to say that's pretty close. But I'm going to come right here and make sure it's just the same on the other side. Because you don't want to have to cut it on and cut it off. You don't want to have to do that. I'm thinking that seam right there, Wesley, went in the center of that right there. We're gonna come right here. I'm gonna see where this right here comes up. I'm telling you, I've done a bunch of these. I think that seam right here is right there in the center of that curve. I'm serious. I'm almost positive. All right, so that right there, we'll put it right there. That will put it right there. I'll put it right there. These are somebody else's patterns. I mean, they did make this seat. I really didn't even look at it before it was took apart. So sometimes the best way to do it is take this and stick the cushion on the seat and take your seat over to the cushion and find out exactly where you're supposed to be. And that's what we're fixing to do. There's our cushion. Yeah. We're just gonna take this all over there. Stick that on there. We're gonna find out. Here you go. We're fixing to find out right here. All right, so here's the seat. Remember I said I thought that went in the curve right there, and I'm pretty sure it does. But they do have a mark right. No, they had a mark right there on the phone, and it is exactly where I said it was, right there. I'm gone, Wesley. I just didn't think that right there was like that. Yeah, and there's the mark on the foam right there. Where that is, that line's right up in that seam, even though it never had a seam. Okay, I got it. We're just gonna start it right here. I'm pretty sure that I'm on the right track. As I'm sewing this around, I am pushing and sewing a little bit. Pushing and sewing a little bit. Not too much, not wrinkling it, but giving it a little space to where when I sew this right here up, it's going to come out like that V right there just lined up with that other V where I cut it. So we're going to come right in here. Hey, keep your fingers crossed. Because I am. All right, and this right here, this part right here, on the inside part, I may have to trim this a little. So I'm going to put it on the seat cover and see if I can figure out exactly how that right there was sewed up. All right, we'll turn the camera around. This is kind of homemade, you know, so it's like a little, I wouldn't say too custom, but it is not like the original. So we're gonna come right here. I'm gonna turn this around, and I want to find out how this right here is gonna fit right here. And it looks as though I need to cut some of this right here off. So I'm gonna take these scissors and not too much, but that much. I'm just gonna cut it off. I'm gonna sew that and round that corner right here, around here, like this. See if we can make this fit. So you got the wire ready, Wes?
Well, I got what was in it, but I don't know if it'll work again.
Is it bent?
Well, it's bent to the bottom of the frame. To match the road, I reckon.
Okay. Alright, so normally we don't do a whole lot of beads anymore, but this seat come with them, so we're putting it back in there. Alright, so here we go. We lining it up. You take and fold it over right here.
Oh, hold on.
This has got my wire.
A short one for the center there,
Don't take a whole lot of them. It don't
and
look
then
right.
2 long ones for the sides.
Yeah. Here's the 2 long ones. They go in each side. Where is that bad boy? I can't even feel it. It's like it disappeared. I got that one. Wasn't there a piece of wire down in there that was?
Mm-hmm.
All right, there's that piece.
It's
Ah.
moved. It slid when we cut the phone.
Yeah.
It slid probably.
What it is it come out. Give me a needle. All right, so you run into stuff like this right here all the time. And what you have to do is you have to put it back. Okay. I'm just going to take this, pull that through with a needle, tie it on the back side.
Cut off of that.
Yeah, I'll just take and roll up a piece of this. Just like this. I mean, it's just something to hold that anchor. Come right here. Shit. I guess it ain't got to be that big. Just something to hold that anchor. I could put a button cap there, it might be better. But all I want to do is hold that anchor down. Okay. Back to the drawing board. All right, there's our anchor. Okay. We're gonna come on this side. Hopefully it ain't all. I don't know why they put such a long piece of wire in there when the anchors ain't very long at all. Okay. All right, so we got that. We're going to pull this down through here. That's for the seat belt. Got to make sure this boxing's going to fit just right, even though I done put the cover on. A little cool in here.
When you did that, that stitching was really stretched out,
Yeah.
like you could see through it a lot.
We're just going to pull it on over. Once it's pulled over, it'll go back like it's supposed to. Maybe. Just like that. This is a fleece backing on this stuff. It's kind of old school. It is original. I ain't saying original to this seat, but it is an original material. Over the years, I just ordered thousands of yards of material that was like originals. At the end of the year, at the closeout, you know, I would order a whole bunch of stuff. There's our little anchor right there. This is going to be what we call tight as a, what's that, banjo string? Yeah. Tight as a banjo string, what they call it.
One of them's really curved and the other one's not as curved.
This right here probably went on that front right there, so we're going to put it back after we straighten it out just a little bit. This. That right there, Wesley? That does not look like that's gonna work. I might have to put a little tail on that right there. You know what I'm talking about? That really didn't have an anchor, but that right there. Can I get that close to my sewing machine? Yep, I can. I'm gonna take this out. Come right here. Sometimes you just got to do this. I mean, it ain't gonna look bad, but I got to come back over here. I'm not gonna take the cover off, and I'm gonna just take and sew this right here. I'm gonna fold this over and sew this here and give me a little tail right in here. Lord have mercy. I'm gonna come right here. Right in here is where that tail needed to be from here to here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come just like this. Believe me, you do it poster work, you're probably gonna have to do some stuff like this. Okay. Let's see what happens now. We're gonna take this. We're gonna throw this right here, right back in there. Like this. Didn't I have a little piece of wire that went in there with?
I've
You
got this one, but I don't know if that's the one you.
it? That could be it. That's a thick piece of wire anyway, ain't it? All right, I'm gonna straighten this piece right here out. We're gonna stick it up in here. All right, we're gonna start from the center, work our way back. I might cut that one out. That looks like I pulled that a little bit too hard. I'll see if I can steam that out. Sometimes you use stretch patterns, and I use stretch patterns. I used the patterns that was on here. Sometimes you use the stretch one, and sometimes it don't turn out exactly the way you thought it was. I don't know where this one went, Wesley. We're gonna put it right there. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to steam this cover right here that goes on here and see if we can't get some of these wrinkles out from it being like, you use a stretch pattern, you don't make your own sometimes. And I didn't, you know, I was just trying to get done with the seat. So we're going to take some of this right here. I know you can see it. So we're going to take some of that right there. We're going to try to attempt to take it out. We got the steamer going. This is another tool that is like very, very, very important to have the right stuff to do this with, because if you don't have some really good steamers, and it can leave you in a jam sometimes. What you do is you just steam over. Now it's got some pieces that's going to bolt on to the side right here, and that's going to pull a lot of that right there in, because it's a big piece that goes on there, because that seat reclines back and forth. But stuff like this right here, where it's pulled really, really, really tight, a lot of that harder to get out. You see me pulling it and steaming it at the same time. You have to pull it, steam it, get them wrinkles. Not that he's gonna lay down in the floorboard, but I want it to look as good as it possibly can for you. Pull that wrinkle right out. You can see it's almost gone, but almost ain't gone. You notice I'm trying to pull that wrinkle and steam it at the same time. All right, I might steam on it a little bit more, but you can tell, I mean, 90% of it's out. That's right here. Can't never forget that. This right here is the anchors for the seat belt. Right here. And I think that this piece that goes in the back, it's going to go right here. All right, so your seatbelt just goes through that hole right there. I may steam over the top of that just a tad. There is a big piece that goes through there. You see the holes right here in the old pattern, right there. So there is a piece right, there's a hole, there's a hole. So that does bolt on from the backrest. That's the difference right there that it made to,
It's on the pink phone.
that's the difference it makes to, instead of making it all one piece, I think it's anchored down more than what it was whenever it was all one piece like this. And we just took this right here off, just redesigned it a little bit, anchored it right in here to where it was not anchored on this one, anchored it right in here, and replace this pad right here. Where that right there was wore slap out. So this is what we do every day. We don't really do a whole bunch of YouTube videos. I'd like to, you know, if I knew how to do a lot of editing and stuff to where you didn't have to see it. But you can fast forward through it, you know. You don't want to have to see all the detail. But if you like what you see and if you think you might learn a little bit of something every now and then, we do something that I don't even think nothing about. And if you pick it up, then that's good. So don't forget to like, subscribe, a thumbs up, a share, ask some questions if you see something that I didn't mention. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.